Good evening, everybody. Good evening. How is everybody doing tonight? Saw half of you today, so if I didn't see it today, we did do a live today. So you missed out on that live. I'm over here reading Reddit. I don't know. I thought that was something about Bryan Kohberger, but it wasn't. So yeah, if you weren't here today, well, hello this evening. We're back for another live. So if you didn't catch the live from this morning, we went over some documents. We watched a couple videos on, I believe it was Court TV over Bryan Kohberger and him getting secretly indicted, having a secret jury come in and indict him that way. So you were here, Steve. You were. So we did go over everything that comes whenever someone is formally indicted or there's a grand jury held. And I was trying to see if I had that up still for you guys. Let's see. So I don't have it still up. But basically what it is they get 12 to like 23, I believe, or 26 people together for just like a mini trial. It's just what the prosecution has. It doesn't, it's not a full trial, so it's not going to be prosecution and defense. It's just going to be what the prosecution has to present in order for them to indict him for the charges. And apparently they had enough evidence there. So let me turn on my camera here. I'm sick of looking at these legal documents. You watched the replay, Jan? Yeah, we went on a little early today. It was pretty fun though. It was what, like 3:15 we went on? And then we didn't realize, so as I'm walking into this room to do the live, Banfield comes on and I hear this commercial and it's like exclusive with the Goncalves family tonight. And I'm like, oh. So I got back on here. When I got on the live, I said, you guys want to watch it? And you guys said you did. So that's why we're here again. We're here for another one. We're almost, yes. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we are trying to hit 10,000K over here and we're almost to 8K. I've got it in my mind that I'm going to get there by this weekend. It's in my mind. I actually had it up. We're at 79.08 so far, so we're not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. And we'll do our next giveaway at 10,000 subscribers too. But I think that I have a contest for us. It's going to be, so it's going to be kind of like a marathon, if you will, of a contest. Or I guess you could say, yeah, it's going to be like a marathon. So be prepared for the long haul. But it's a good contest, I feel like. And I'll let you guys know about it here in a little bit. Legendary's here. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. Oh, I love that van. Man, I wish I had a van like that. I would be van lifing it everywhere. Speaking of which, not to Idaho though. Because we all know from earlier today, your girl don't stand in lines. I don't even ride roller coasters. But if I wasn't terrified of them, I wouldn't be able to. I would be the person, and knock on wood, and don't take me, God, don't take me to hell for this, but I would totally whip out my wheelchair and be like, get me to the front of the line. I'd be that person. I tried to do it at the airport one time to get Vincent on his flight on time, but it was because it was a very serious thing. But I was like, do you need me to get in the wheelchair? So it's been crazy in these streets the last couple of days. If you haven't seen the YouTube streets the last couple of days, it's been crazy. So now that the secret indictment has come down on Kohberger, I'm just waiting. It was kind of quiet today. It's been kind of quiet. I'm waiting on the mass hysteria to start, because with them having a grand jury, we're not going to have that preliminary hearing in June that we were all looking forward to. She took off like 4 or 5 days. We thought we were going to hear all this evidence and we were going to have a better understanding of the case and what they really, the evidence against Kohberger. But they decided to cut out that and just do a grand jury, which I think that they do that a lot of times. So I don't think that that's like it's not like it's a big secret, I don't think. I'm sure that they did keep it in secret, hush hush, because none of us knew about it. Can you believe that? She's working. Oh. I'm in another chat. I'm just watching. I'm just watching a shit show. We're having a members only live tomorrow. We'll have to talk about this. I'll have to remember this. This is some good stuff. People are already going nuts. Like, it's the creators. What time does it start? It starts at 10. So I'm going to go through the legal documents pretty quickly here, and then it starts at 10 o'clock. And I believe, I don't know if it's going to be like the full hour or what she's doing, but she said she's going to have an interview with them, which to me is really not, I mean, it'll be nice to see them. I hope they feel good, I hope that this is something that they want, you know, like everything's going according to plan for them. And, you know, the cops, I hope, are, you know, keeping them in the loop and all of that good stuff. But they seem to be pretty okay. I know that there is a gag order in place, but it's not really on them. It's more on their attorney. So I think that they've been able to talk. They just kind of, I think once they got that attorney, he was better prepared to tell them when to talk and when not to talk. And I think that's why maybe Steve kind of took a little step back there. But this is, if you haven't seen this website before, this is the Idaho Judicial Branch. It has all of the documents that you could ever want on Bryan Kohberger, since he was arrested, you know, back in December. What am I talking about? So let me get to the page. All my stuff's been all mixed up lately. Actually, I want to do a poll really quick. I want to get everyone's opinion. And even if it's not a popular opinion, I want to hear it because I want to know the opinions. Because I feel like some stuff's changing, which is fine. And then I'm going to add this option of yes. Okay. It's crazy that you have to do like so many different things. Hey, 10:30, Melissa, where you been? Yeah, let me see your face. Hello, there you are. Oh, Summer, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Put a little extra makeup on, but my arms are kind of lighter. Do you see how like I'm have a farmer's tan looking like I'm going right there? It doesn't look that bad in real life, so I'm going to be sitting outside tomorrow because we are doing a members only live tomorrow, and we're going to do it, I think, outside. If, you know, the weather permits. But it said it's going to be 70 some degrees, so it's going to be beautiful. So these are all the documents, like I said, over Bryan Kohberger. And Melissa, you know, just don't be leaving us. Just make sure you turn us on while you're listening or studying. We may need your expertise. You've been learning so much. So I got to go all the way down to the bottom. So this one is, these are the new documents that just came out today. We went over the state responses earlier today. And then when we were getting ready to get off the live, more documents came out. I think I said, oh shit, like when on the live, I was like, oh shit. I was like, no, not more. I'm not sure I understand. Sorry, I didn't understand that. Because I was like, no, because you all know me and you know I will sit here all day and start reading some documents. And I'm like, if I do that to them, they'll fall asleep. I don't know, Avery. I meant to say hi to you when I want to know the same thing. Yes, if anyone knows. Oh, you're so welcome, Michelle. Art True Crime, you're so welcome. 10 million %. I think that they're doing a pretty good job on lining it up. I mean, you know, for the prosecution, if you're the prosecution. So the first one I'm going to show you guys is, actually, I'm just going to explain this one to you because this one's really long and it's not really, it's very, okay, I'm just going to share it with you. It's very cut and dry and to the point. It's on the matter of, the Associated Press and everyone's motion with the gag order. The motion to reconsider that has been denied. Like, this is a lot of stuff to read. But if you guys do want to read it, it is out there. It's just, this is like at the top, it just gives you a little bit of a summary of, what happened that night and why they need to keep the orders in place, basically. And that they will be going to court on the 22nd, which is Monday, at 9 a.m. But this one says it's set for 10 a.m. And this one is for, I believe, the Associated Press and the Goncalves, maybe? I think this is just for the press. And they did actually give us some information on, they like drop a document about court like demeanor and how you should act. So I'm thinking that we might be able to, like, there's going to be cameras in there. Well, thank you for becoming a member, Michelle. That's so nice. I love that. And thank you for being here, everybody. If you're just now joining us, I forgot to ask you guys this in the beginning. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, smash that like button, punch it. Don't punch it. That'll break your computer. No verdict. Oh. Them babies deserve justice. I didn't pick up that case for some reason. I don't know if it was before I started true crime or if it was during, but I don't know why I didn't. I think that I wasn't aware that it wasn't solved as much as it wasn't. And so I didn't, and I regret that. I regret not looking into that more. So let me just show you the more important ones. So this one is the indictment here. So let me blow this up for you guys because I know it's hard to see. I don't know why I do that to you guys. If you guys can never, if there's ever a time where I'm on StreamYard, I don't know why I do this to myself because I'm blind in one eye. But I'll have it all the way on the lowest and I'm over here like squinting and I'm like, Tanya, there's a zoom. So let me know if you ever need something zoomed in. Oh, thank you. Yes. You are going to learn hopefully you'll learn some new stuff tonight. I'm hoping. Anyway, I'm hoping. So this one, and I don't know, maybe you guys can answer this one. This was a question that I had, and I don't know if it's because it's a single dwelling, but I'm wondering why Brian wasn't charged with burglary on each count of murder. Like burglary and murder on Maddie, burglary and murder on Kaylee. He's only charged with burglary once. I don't know. I don't know the law that well, like when it comes to this. So I'm not sure why they did it that way, but, it does say, murder in the first degree, So there's 4 charges of murder in the first degree and then the crime of burglary. And that's what he's been indicted on. It says the defendant, Bryan C. Kohberger, on or about November 13th, 2022, in Latah County, state of Idaho, did unlawfully enter a residence located at 1122 King Road, Moscow, with the intent to commit the felony murder or crime of murder. They redacted, it was a name at the bottom. It was a juror, I believe. So it says redacted up there. But it says count 2. These are all going to be, I'm sorry, did we go count 1? Okay, count 1 right here. This one on count 2 through 4 are all going to read the same, except for the last, or the name is going to change. So I'm going to read the first one to you. And if you're like, is she repeating these? I'm just going to give you the names after that. So it says that defendant Bryan C. Kohberger, on or about November 13th, 2022, in Latah County, state of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice and forethought, kill and murder Madison Mogan, Kaylee Goncalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, a human being by stabbing of Madison Mogan, Kaylee Goncalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, for which they died. Instead of reading those all four out, I read it like that. That makes sense. All of which is contrary to the form, force, or effect of these statuses in such case made and provided and against the peace and dignity of the state of Idaho. And it was presented and opened in the court on the 6th. And they redacted the presiding grand juror's name there. That's why I believe it's redacted. Hey, Papa Rogers. It's really sad. Where's Eddie at? What's he doing? Hey, Rich. Yeah, it's what he took. Well, burglary is just him breaking into the dwelling. The burglary is him breaking into a dwelling and with the intent to commit a felony or a crime. Angel Joe looking ass. Who's your sister? Oh, I thought you said, hey, that's my sister. And I was like, Summer, your sister's in here? Because that wouldn't surprise me if Summer was like, yeah, you signing up. You subscribing? So the next one is going to be the notice of hearing. And that one's this one here. And it is going to be 5/22, which is Monday. So the good news is, Monday's court. And it is at 9 a.m. They do have a different judge. This is in district court. So this is going to be for his arraignment. And this is going to be with Judge John Judge. Judge. I'm loving it because I'm not going to be able to forget his name. Judge. Yeah, yep. Hey, TitaniumBuilt. Also, the crime of breaking and entering is just breaking in and then entering. Like it sounds, yeah. But with intent to commit felony is what makes it burglary, like you said. Yeah, I actually didn't really know the differences until this case. I was like, let me read it. What's these differences? And I was like, really? Like I knew that B&E is breaking and entering, but I thought that I was all kind of on the same thing. I didn't know that you didn't have to steal something for it to not be burglary. Honorable Judge. I can't wait. I think that I might dress up Monday. I'm just that excited about just, all dressed up and know where to go. One of those things. Not saying like I'm excited because Brian's guilty and Brian. I'm just excited to see that like the case is moving forward. And I might just wear a ballroom gown. I'm not right. What time is it? Okay, we got some minutes. So this is the notice of hearing, like I said. This one I want to show you guys here. So this one is the order governing courthouse and courtroom conduct. Now listen closely. In case you have any plans to go to the court, because this is how you have to conduct yourself, guys. The order governs courthouse and courtroom conduct and media activities in this case. The order shall supersede any prior order governing courthouse and courtroom conduct. The court is mindful of the need to balance the constitutional right of the defendant to a fair hearing, the public's right to information in conjunction with the constitutional and statutory rights of the media to attend the proceedings. 3, the court's interest in maintaining order and an environment that permits all participants to focus on their responsibilities without undue distractions. So don't wear any crazy floppy hats to the, court. Number 4, the court's interest in the safety of the public and the court personnel and the need to follow all Idaho Supreme Court orders as may be changed or amended from time to time. With these factors in mind, pursuant to Idaho Code Administrative Rules. It gives you the rules. Meaning you need to be able to be moving and grooving if you need to be moving and grooving. So this is how it's going to go as of like seating and stuff like that. So this is how it goes. Hey there, Redwood. Hey everybody coming in too. Thank you guys so much. We're going to be watching the Banfield episode. She has a exclusive interview with the Goncalves family. It's coming on at 10. So I'm getting through these really quick, and then we are going to get through that. I know Papa Roger. Me and Papa Roger know each other. He's been in our chat before. Papa, I don't know if you're legally blind in both eyes, but let me know. Because you told me in the chat, because I'm blind in my one eye. So now I know. I saw the picture. I was like, the picture, wait a minute. So it goes like this. Courtroom seating and attendance. Seating for victims' families, counsel, defendants' family, and court personnel. Certain seating may be reserved for counsel, authorized court personnel, and defendants' family and victims' families. That's who gets first dibs. Pool media seating. The representative of the media serving as the pooled camera staff shall be seated in an area approved by the court as designated by the administrative district court presiding judge, trial court administrative, or bailiff, subject to a limit. So this is if they want to set up cameras, I believe, like inside the courthouse. They have a set of limited of 2 media members operating pool audio and video recording of the hearing. And you get 1 media member for photography. So 2 people to work, cameras, sound, all of that. And then 1 person, it seems like, to do pictures, which doesn't seem like a lot. So I'm hoping it's not like the Letitia trial. I'm hoping it's a little better. Elliot, that's the name. I couldn't remember. But when you came in here, I didn't recognize you. And so I saw you like in another chat. And I was like, wait a minute. I know him. We're blind together. We're blind buddies. But he's like, I think you're a lot more than I am. Summer said, I knew your ass, Elliot. Yeah, we know you in here. We love you in here. I remember you. You're such a sweet guy. And so it says here, general public and additional media seating. The public and members of the media not designated as pooled camera staff may be permitted in the courtroom as space permits on a first-come basis. No person may reserve seats. No standing in the courtroom will be allowed. Seating in front of the bar, which means nobody can be seating like where the prosecutors and the defense tables are, other than them. Entry and exit during court proceedings. Spectators, including members of the media and the public, shall be seated before court is in session during any portion of a hearing. No entry or re-entry to the courtroom shall be permitted while court is in session. No smoke breaks over there, so I don't know about all that. I don't smoke, but cigarettes. I vape. Security screening. All persons entering the courtroom are subject to security screening. No food, beverage, firearms, or other weapons are permitted in the courthouse. All handbags, backpacks, or purses are prohibited in the courtroom. Any personal property items are subject to inspection. Cell phones. Cell phones are permitted but must be turned off and shall not be used for any recordings or transmissions of sounds or images. Other electronic devices like computers, laptops, and other similar devices are permitted for note-taking, but shall not be used to record or transmit sound or images in or from the courthouse. They really be messing with that. They don't be bad. Any activity or behavior which is considered disruptive by the court will result in removal from the courtroom. Any spectator who creates a visual or audio disturbance of the court proceedings may be removed from the courtroom and or the building at any time at the discretion of court security personnel, covering their bases. Camera/still photography. If the court allows cameras in the courtroom and orders that the media coverage be pulled, then all media shall have access to and share the video, audio, and still photographs received from the permitted cameras. Courtroom media requirements. Allow media representatives and their equipment will be located in the area of the courtroom designated by the administrative judge, presiding judge. District presiding judge. The number and placement of pooled cameras being used to audio or video record the proceedings is subject to the approval of the court, 2 audio video recording devices, and 1 still camera. No flash photography allowed, like the animals. You don't want to disrupt the animals. trying to read through these. I didn't realize how long it was, and we might have to come back because we have like 2 minutes. But portion of proceedings which may be televised, photography, video, and audio is not permitted during a recess in the court proceedings. Recess means, you know, anytime the judge is not at the bench and it's not on record. Restrictions on video and photographs. No video or still photography shall be taken of any papers, documents, or notes which may be located on or around counsel tables or used by counsel. No video or still photography shall be taken of the victim's family or defendant's family without their express permission. I'm going to read that last part again. No video or still photography shall be taken of the victim's families or defendant's family without their express permission. Did everyone get that in the back? Which I think we all got it here, but you know, maybe if I scream it loud enough, everyone on YouTube land will hear it. Interviews, reporting, and vehicle parking. I'm going to show you that where that's going to be here down at the bottom. Media inquiries, send it there. Security, disruptive behavior, tells you where to, you know, for any violations. And then you have what I like to call the festival map. Coachella, or we're going to maybe the Taylor Swift Eras concert. I'm not sure. But you see where they put the media in the green all the way in the back? All the way. Like, you're going to have to wake up at 2 a.m. to walk the parking lot to get a spot in line. And Brian Enton's already going to be sitting there drinking his coffee. Like, where you been? I was going to say porn, Betty. Whenever I heard like about disruptions of court and stuff, I was thinking her. I was. No, so this one's actually an old ring, Rhonda. This one's my bigger one, but I got it caught in a gate at work one time, and I was terrified to ever wear it again. And so, and it's a little bit bigger. It's a lot. I can click on your name, and then your picture makes it bigger. You can? Like, I can do that too? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let me get on there. So I know, oh, it's 10:01, so let me get over here. You know she has to say hi to the TV for a second anyway. We love her. When I was looking at pictures of Banfield today, right? Okay, oops. Oops, sorry. When I was looking at pictures of Banfield today, I could not find a picture of her in a cream-colored shirt. I ain't even lying to you guys. Not even lying. Don't forget to like the video. We're getting ready to watch this, start this, and I don't want to have to pause it for you guys, but we don't pause it, you know? It's live. So we're going to watch it right now.
We don't know what evidence was presented. All we know is that that guy in the orange jumpsuit is going to have another field day on Monday upstairs to face the judge again and enter a plea. Guilty or not guilty. And then the clock starts for his trial. I'm going to give you all of the rest of the details on what happened yesterday. I found out at 2 o'clock in the morning, tweeted it out. Lots of people, you don't know. Well, it did happen, and there's a lot of details to get to. So Brian Enton is going to join me in a moment, give you a whole bunch of other information, not the least of which is the secrecy about the witness list. Because yet again, sealed because of the fear of harassment. This makes me crazy. Talk about that in a moment. Also, you're going to find out just how much, I don't even know how to put this, how much of a dump the document dump ended up being in the discovery of the Bryan Kohberger case. And I need you to expand your horizons like past the universe so that you're going to understand the astounding amount of discovery that all these lawyers have to go through. Going to break it all down for you. In the slumber party massacre, I don't know how much more of this I can take. I get it. Law enforcement can make mistakes. I'm a huge supporter of the police. Let me be real clear. Real big supporter of the police. I think they get a real bad rap, but some of them truly stink, okay? On occasion, I think we need to call that out. And on this slumber party story in Oklahoma with the sex offender who murdered his wife and her 3 kids and their 2 friends, this has been Botch Central. We're getting some warrants. And my friends, the warrants are even messed up. Screwing up names of kids, victims, parents' names. Big mistakes. this car is impounded. It wasn't. I mean, beyond, beyond, beyond. And we finally have some answers to the mystery of 32 phones registered to that sex offender torture house. Who? 5 people live there. Who are the 32 phones registered to that address? We have the answers for you tonight. That's coming. And then a Lori Vallow juror finally broke silence. And I cannot wait for you to hear what this juror said about what it was like to have to look at her. Just looking at her brought a huge reaction. You're going to hear in his own words coming up. Let's start with indictment day yesterday. Secret indictment day. It happened. Bryan Kohberger probably got news of it in his itty-bitty cell in the Moscow jail. Well, he's going to get a field trip on Monday, 9 a.m. He gets to leave that cell and walk upstairs to the courthouse, you know, the actual hearing rooms. He's being transferred from local to district court. So he's going to get a new judge. Wonder how that's going to bode for us. No more June 26th, like I said. The prosecutors argued that this whole grand jury list of witnesses needed to be sealed because they were worried about further harassment, quote, in person and via social media, and what appears to be intimidation. He asked that all the witnesses stay under wraps, DA, to ensure, quote, a fair trial with an impartial jury. That makes me just so sad to think that this is like a mob trial, you know, that the witnesses are terrified. They're probably just getting assailed by all those crazies online who are like fawning all over Bryan Kohberger. I love you, and here's you on my wall, and yeah. Anyway, we already know that a couple of these kids that survived this massacre have been assailed, bullied, bullying victims online, and maybe that's what this is about. Maybe you can't find out this stuff because of those people and the threats that poor Dylan and poor Bethany had been facing, and maybe others, maybe neighbors, maybe other witnesses, who knows? But the last time we saw Bryan Kohberger was in January, and I just wanted to remind you of what it looked like, so take a peek.
Guilty or found guilty is up to death and or imprisonment for life. Do you understand?
Yes.
Well, the next time he speaks, it's going to be guilty or not guilty. It will be quick, really. I want to bring in Newsnations senior national correspondent Brian Enton with more on exactly what's going to happen in this process during the arraignment. He's with me live. Okay, take it away. Walk me through Monday, Brian.
So this indictment, as you mentioned, became unsealed today. The grand jury actually signed off on the indictment yesterday, Ashley. So this all became official yesterday. No surprises when it comes to the charges. It's the same charges that the police and the prosecutor initially charged Bryan Kohberger with, the 4 counts of murder and the 1 count of burglary. The case is now being moved from county to district court now that there's officially an indictment. And I want to read you this part of the indictment. It says that the defendant, Bryan C. Kohberger, on or about November 13th, 2022 in Latah County, state of Idaho, did unlawfully enter a residence at 1122 King Road with the intent to commit the felony crime of murder. So you mentioned it's going to be a short hearing on Monday. They'll go over the charges. He will officially enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. I'm going to be there. What I am most interested in is we have not seen him since the arrest, since that initial court appearance. All of the hearings have been online. Some of the hearings have been in secret. So we will actually be able to be there. We'll be able to see him again. We'll be able to have a camera there, so we'll be able to show you. We'll be able to see his new attorney also, in addition to Ann Taylor. So surely we'll learn a lot come Monday, Ashley.
Right. And I can't wait to see the new judge. And I love his name. It's John Judge, because he's moved from county, you know, to district court. I don't know if John Judge is going to be the same as the county judge who just, you know, kept everything under wraps. Who knows? But, you know, what's really interesting is that we're going to hear like a trial scheduling, right? He has a right to a speedy trial, which is 6 months after, you know, the arraignment, the guilty plea is entered, or the not guilty plea is entered. And so, like, what's the timing? Like, what are we expecting, you know, when we hear them schedule?
It's a good question. It's interesting you bring up the judge, because when we talk about the gag order and not having a lot of information, there's now a new judge. So it's now going to be up to this judge to decide how to handle this gag order. Gag order is still in effect, though. So we still don't have a lot of information. You mentioned it at the top of your show. One of the reasons that those of us who are invested in the case were interested in this preliminary hearing is because there was going to be new information, and we were going to be able to be there, and it was going to be open to the public, and there was going to be witnesses, and there was going to be new nuggets. None of that is going to happen now, and the gag order still stands right now. So yes, there's this back and forth happening. We get little bits of info when the defense is asking the prosecution for discovery, and there's been a lot of filings with that. But in terms of the time frame, we really don't know at this point.
So the interesting thing is that this plea, hearing, the arraignment, is scheduled for 9 o'clock in the morning, local time in Idaho, for Bryan Kohberger. But there are additional scheduled hearings, and my assumption is it is for these additional gag order challenges. The media has done a challenge. It continues to challenge this. This is, we have open justice in America. We don't do gulag, blindfold justice. And so there's been a lot of media challenge. And then there's also the challenge from the Goncalves family as well, who are very frustrated, with their inability to find out information about their beautiful daughter's death.
Yeah, and it's interesting because those two issues have in some ways been lumped together into one issue that the judge is going to be dealing with. And they're very, very different. Because obviously you've got the media. We want the info. We don't want to just be shut down by everything. But Kaylee Goncalves' family has a very different reason for wanting to be able to speak out. Their attorney says he has a right to be able to be the family spokesman. They can't just totally shut him down. So he's fighting that. And then the media is also fighting that at least we get some kind of information, because the gag order is just so strict.
It has been really difficult because, people complain about misinformation, but when you can't check with a simple clerk of the court just about status, it makes covering, a process of public justice very, very difficult. And I feel it's unfair. I understand their reasons, but sometimes it goes too far. And that's what the media position has been. Brian Enton, as always, excellent reporting. Thank you so much. And I'm going to ask you to stick around because I want you to come in on the other big story that you've been working on, and that's the slumber party in Oklahoma. So we'll see you towards the end of the hour as well. Thank you, Brian. But I also want to say, amid the coverage of Bryan Kohberger's trial are the people that we lost. That is who this case is all about. Their names are Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. The family of Kaylee Goncalves plans to do the impossibly brave act of actually attending the arraignment on Monday. Kaylee's father, Steve Goncalves, joins me now for this exclusive interview tonight. Steve, it's good to see you again, and thank you so much for being on the program with me again. First and foremost, can I just check in with you and ask how you're holding up?
There's been progress, and that always helps. I feel like we have a mission, we have a job to do, we have things that have to happen, and when I see those things happening, that helps me understand that we're going in the right direction, and that's always better than just sitting and waiting for who knows what's going to happen.
So when the official news dropped that the grand jury had convened, the process had completed, the indictment was coming down, what was your reaction? They had let us know beforehand that this process was in action and it was going to possibly happen. They kind of put it in a vague circumstance saying it could be this case, but we knew. I have a legal counsel. I talked to my legal counsel. He said, yes, it's definitely this case. So we knew that this was a possibility. So we just sat back, hoped that everybody was going to remain quiet and it wouldn't leak, because the last thing we wanted was any of the families to be accused of that. So then we kept our mouth shut and we just waited for it to happen. And then they told us, yeah, it's over, it's done. Well, we had been making big plans, as a network, decamping to Idaho for the June 26th hearing. It was my understanding there was going to be a solid 3 to 5 days, like a mini trial, and we would have learned a lot of information. I wanted to get your take, however, on the fact that we will not get that opportunity to learn some of these mysterious holes in this case. Is it troublesome to you? Is it bothersome to you? Or are you just happy that the process is continuing regardless of what kind of indictment we got?
No, I'm just like everyone else. I want to know exactly what's going on. I want to see all the evidence. I don't like the secretivity, like the hiding of it. But I understand why they did it. There's people who are witnesses and they need to be protected and they don't need to be dragged through every obstacle that this process goes through. And it was a wise decision to go this path. So all the information will come out, but it doesn't have to come out in multiple times in multiple ways. And we don't have to make them go through this exercise more than needed.
So I was pretty heartbroken when I saw the reasoning for the prosecution's motion to keep sealed the witness list in the grand jury. It's a secretive process, no matter what. Every grand jury across the nation is secretive. But then to see the motion to keep the witness list sealed, the reason was very depressing to me. The fact that they worried that some of the witnesses could be the subject of further harassment in person and via social media, what appears to be intimidation. That has to be a gut punch as well, given the fact that some of these kids are still victimized by this, and they will be for the rest of their lives, especially Dylan and Bethany, who survived this. Have you had a chance to either talk to them or, I don't know, process, what this means for them?
I've been able to talk to one of them. They know where we stand. These girls, if I seen them, I'd give them a hug. They're going through a lot. I appreciate everything that they've done for the case and all the information that they've provided. I wish they wouldn't have to go through it, but it's critical. It's absolutely going to make the case. So I commend them for their courage and to go through this and to know that I can't fix it for them, but I'm there for them. I'm there to let them know that we really appreciate it. And all the parents were vulnerable. So we need those girls to come forward and, provide those details, and they have done that. And we really appreciate it.
Have you been able to keep in regular contact with the one of the pair that you mentioned?
I wouldn't say regular. I don't want to make it awkward. If she wants, to share something with me, she can, and not much changed. So it is what it is. And we're all kind of learning what our new life is right now. And I'm just there to actually support them and make sure that some of these nightmare type scenarios aren't really happening. And hopefully, if there's something we can do, we can help that from happening.
Not to pry and ask which of the girls you were talking to, but did she give details about some of what she's been processing in these 6 months?
Well, between all the different families, I think both girls are talking. They're talking to somebody. One might be talking to me, one might be talking to someone else. So I think we have a good understanding of some of the details that haven't been made public, but we're just holding it close to the chest, and we're making sure that everything goes through the court processes and everybody gets a fair shot and everything is done in the right order to mothers and fathers that really don't have any idea how this should work. We never seen ourselves in this spot, and we're just living one day by day.
There's no playbook, for this, and it's a very exclusive club. I often say, very unwelcome, exclusive club that you're a member of, Steve. You are, I don't know where you get the strength and the fortitude, but you were there when Kohberger made that first appearance in January. Are you planning to be there on Monday?
Yeah, I'm going to stick to the message that this family will do everything in its power to make sure that if everything rolls out and we know for a fact with the evidence that this is the person, then he's got pit bulls after him. So we're going to be there at every moment, analyzing every piece of data, going through everything to make sure that it is the right person, and we hold them accountable. And that, you know, that kind of pressure has to come from more than just one parent. It has to come from all of us, and that's what we're working on. I know on Monday, I won't be the only parent down there. There'll be other families there, and I think it's a moment of solidarity that we're getting more and more people active, and you got to give people time to figure out how they want to respond and how they're going to just wake up and deal with an everyday situation. But they're all starting to get their power and their strength, and they're all ready to go to court. And I think that courtroom is going to get more and more crowded.
Do you mind me asking if you know what other parents are planning to be there Monday?
I don't want to put them on the hook in case they wake up that morning and they don't feel like going. But I know of 2 other families that are planning on being there. We're organizing even the path that we get down there together. So anything can happen, and everyone has the ability to decide to change their mind. But I'll be there. I won't be changing my mind, and we'll have at least 9 seats of us there. And I hope that some of the other families feel that the more uncomfortable we can make this room, and the more that we can represent each person that was robbed of their lives, the best we can do. I mean, it's not going to fix the situation, but there should be some accountability when you take people that are special.
We've been showing some of the pictures of the scene of the crime, which will be featured heavily in this trial. I know the university was going to keep you updated as to the plans to demolish 1122 King Road. They said it would happen during the semester. Now the semester is over. Have they kept their word at the university and kept you informed about the plan for the demolition? And as well as that, have all the parents been able to pick up their kids' belongings for the final time?
We have not been able to pick those things up, which we would understand that might be very close to the moment that it's down, that it's going to be torn down, like maybe equipment's moving in. So we've pushed back a little bit just because different parents have seen different court cases and have tried to get themselves, self-educated on what we're going to go through. And they've found cases where important evidence had been discovered, and they went back to the crime scene and actually it clarified things for different jury members. I don't know the exact story, but I just know that that's a reality that has been spoken to me. So we pushed back and said, hey, let's wait on this until at least everybody's on the same page, including the defendant. I want the defendant to be able to say, there's nothing in that house that's important to us. I want the truth. We want the right person. So we have every motion to sit back and say, hey, we can slow this down. We don't have to rush anything. I understand it's a little difficult for the community, but we all have to come together, and we have to do what's right for these young adults that we're put in this situation, and we're the only voices that they have. So we've asked to slow that down, and they've respected that.
Steve Goncalves, it's good to see you again and talk to you again. I can't thank you enough for volunteering to be on this program with us. And I know that a lot of the people who are watching right now, if you can feel it, they're sending their love to you just like we are as well. And to Christy and the kids as well. Our best to you.
Thank you.
Steve Goncalves joining us live from Idaho tonight on the heels of an indictment. Bryan Kohberger. Coming up, 51 terabytes. That is how much digital data the state of Idaho handed over in discovery requests to Bryan Kohberger's lawyers. And for context, because I had to look it up, that's 51,000 gigabytes. And for more context, the average iPhone has just 128 gigabytes. 51,000 versus 128 gigabytes. And we all know how hard it is to find that one vacation photo that's in that phone somewhere. So how can a small team of lawyers possibly watch and or listen to all of that data in real time for any kind of good trial research? And make no mistake, both sides need to know what's in that data. After the break, I'll ask a guy with an inside edge, a prosecutor himself, how the lawyers on both sides will wade through all the data and find the needle in a haystack. Next.
Here on the border in El Paso, it's never been worse.
If Chris Cuomo couldn't look any more handsome, put him in the desert without a tie. Look at him. I just think he's the cutest. I'm like, am I off mute? But I think I know where you were, Glenn Jam, and I was there earlier. I lost a lot of brain cells. I had to get out of there. So that's what I was going to tell you guys, actually. I was thinking of this earlier when I was at the store or something, and it just came across my mind. You know that we're not going to get a whole lot of information because the gag order is going to be in there. They're going to keep the gag order in place. I feel it's going to be in place. So I thought, what if we do a contest? And I don't know when we can even maybe start it like now. I don't know. I have to like the inner workings of this contest has to go in my mind. But what I'm thinking is whatever story that comes out that's the craziest, or, you know, like the craziest story to come out, or whatever it may be, because we're going to hear some stuff that's just so off the wall. We've already been hearing it. It's just going to be tenfold out now that we don't have anything to go on. So I'm thinking that, yeah, we might have to make a game of it. Might have to make a game. You're not invisible. I can see you, Cheryl. See? Upgraded Monday outfit. See, I'm not the only one that wants to dress up for Monday. I said I was going to wear a ballroom gown. I want to be able to say that, you know, I dressed appropriately. Man, maybe I should find a really cool outfit to wear just for that. I need a cricket or something. I lost 5 pounds of brain. He does? Ooh. Well, hello, but that's bonus points. Yeah, they are. They are. And the thing is, one of the creators was supposed to bring that Dave guy person back on their panel tonight. They said it on Monday when the Dave person was on the panel. And then tonight, last minute, after everything, you would have thought that a war zone was breaking out. Anonymous Grand Juror with the voice box is next. Did you like my post on the members tab? When I heard that, because I mean, and I understand, like, and Dave may be a real person. I don't know if he is or not. But the voice changer and the whole thing, I was rolling, guys. I was just like, Like when I heard that, like Vincent likes to, he should have a camera on me at all times, because I'll be like laying in bed or something and I'll have like the iPad. I have like a large iPad stand that comes up on my bed, and I'll just be cussing at it or yelling like, that's not right. Because my ears pick up a lot and I'm really good at photographic memory. Now, other than that, those are my only probably good things, but I am good at those things. Remembering.
Open up the gate and let it fall. That is, in my mind, what the discovery dump in the Bryan Kohberger case just was on May the 4th. Be with you. So the state responded to the defense's demand, and it's their right, for all the discovery. Give us everything. Give us all the goods that you have in your investigation, all your police product, investigative, everything. And let me tell you what it's comprised of right there on your screen. About 10,000 pages of reports and written materials, 10,200 photos, 9,200 tips. And look at this last one, 51 terabytes of audio-visual media and digital materials. Let me repeat, 51 terabytes. I will break down what that means. Some of you know, because you're awesome nerds, I needed like easier language. So here's what it is. 51 terabytes can hold about 12,750,000 high-definition photographs. 12,750,000, okay? Or could also hold 12,750 feature-length movies. Imagine watching 12,750 two-hour-long movies to look for the needle in the haystack. Or it can hold about 331.5
Let's not
million
forget the defense was
pages
asking for
of
this
documents.
stuff.
I can't read a book in like a month or two. So I don't know how many eyeballs it will take and how many eyeball hours it will take to get through all that. But just for comparison here, Apollo 11's guidance computer was only 32 kilobytes. So 51 terabytes is almost 1.6 billion times more storage than the computer had that put the man on the moon. 1.6 billion times more storage than that computer. You know what? I don't even know where you start. But I'm going to ask someone who knows a lot about this, Dave Ehrenberg. He's a state attorney for Palm Beach County and former assistant attorney general. Dave, I feel like in the last decade or two, the document dumps are getting overwhelming. Like mental health days are going to be needed to get through this. And how many people, like seriously, how many sets of eyeballs and eyeball hours will it take to get through all that on both sides? Because prosecutors have to know what's in it. Defense has to know what's in it.
Yeah, actually, you've heard of prosecutors getting sanctioned for withholding evidence, but you've never heard of a prosecutor getting sanctioned for providing too much evidence. And that's why prosecutors will err on the side of disclosure. And that means that defense counsel and their investigators are going to have to look through the hours and hours of video, but generally they know the approximate areas they're going to look through. They're not just going to sit there second by second. They're going to have techniques where they can fast forward to the most important times because they'll know when the crucial times are on the videos. Now, keep in mind, when you ask for a phone record, like if you're going to ask a phone company for the records of Kohberger's phone, that alone could be about 12,000 pages. And then you multiply that by all the different phones that were being seized, and you can already come out to 1 million pages just like that. So, this is why, prosecutors have so many documents to turn over, because the last thing they want is for sanctions because they didn't turn over enough.
So we see Bill Taylor, the DA, and we see, Ann Taylor over on the other side, or Bill Thompson, I should say. And I imagine they've got a small staff because this is taxpayers' dime for both defense and prosecution. But how many staff will it take to be able to get through that? Because it could be that needle in a haystack that either nails him into the coffin or frees him. And both sides need to find that needle if it's there. How many people do they usually get?
Well, if the defense counsel think that they need more people, they go to the judge and they'll get an additional appropriation, more money to go hire more people, because the court will always try to ensure that a defendant's Sixth Amendment right is being honored, a right to a fair trial. So defense counsel will get more appropriations. They're already getting more lawyers than originally. And I think, actually, this is one reason why the defense lawyers for Kohberger waived their right to a speedy trial. That way they could have more time to look over all of the evidence. So they're prepared for this. I don't think necessarily are prepared for 51 terabytes. But this is a huge case involving multi-level law enforcement agencies, state, local, and federal. So they all have their discovery they had to turn over to the defense.
Man, that is, if you had 200 people on staff, it would still be a massive job. I truly don't know how they're going to get through it all and still have the right eyes on it on both sides, like I said. Dave, thank you. It's always good to have you on. Dave Ehrenberg, you're the best.
Thanks for having me, Ashley.
Well, look forward to it again. Coming up next, hidden justice, Idaho style. Anonymous witnesses, sealed testimony, and almighty super secret grand jury instead of a week-long hearing in open court. All the result of a judgment call.
You want to hear something funny? Someone asked me today, or no, not asked me. They didn't ask me this because no one asked me this, but it was in a chat, and and I just laughed at myself. I don't know, because I mean, there's never a dumb question, but this was just kind of I don't know, a dumb question. But in the chat they said, "Do you think that Bryan Kohberger is going to get bond now?" I was like, yeah, that's exactly what that means. Oh, Lord in mercy. You're in the same chat. You probably saw it. So they always do a grand jury in secret. That's so they didn't want to have like cameras outside posted, taking pictures of these jurors, as Nancy would say. Jurors as they were like going to and from, because like Brian Enton, actually, he had done a video over it. Like he had done a news segment about how they were going to, we weren't going to know about it if they did do a secret like grand jury and stuff and like things of that nature. And then that's what they ended up doing. So no bond. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, they're going to give him bond now because 12 people actually said they think that there's enough evidence to go to trial. So for sure. I know, I sound pretty good, don't I, Benjamin? Jurors. I've been practicing. And what is the other one she says? High tea at Windsor Castle. Well, speaking of high tea at Windsor Castle, did you guys see that today about the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry or whatever? Something about like they were chased down by the paparazzi in New York. I don't know. I saw it when I was watching News Nation. Yeah, 16 to 22. Yeah, they had, I think we've looked up the numbers earlier about those numbers. Yeah. I don't even know if I still have it up. Nope, I don't. But yeah, I think it said like 12 to 23, 26 or something along those lines. And then you guys did see the judge, right? That's going to be the new judge there. His name is Judge John Judge. Which to me is not, I mean, it's funny, but it's not really that funny because we had a judge in my town. He actually saw me in traffic court for a speeding ticket. His name was Judge. We just called him Judge, though. I don't know why. The judge there. Let me see. I'll have to find like a better picture of him too. I just trying to look something up. I know, and almost a Diana. That's what I said. And even if forget the other judges' names either, Warner, Newman. We've only done a couple trials on this channel. 2, right? Yeah, because everyone else has been backed up. We have over 30 cases that we've done on this channel in 6 months. Probably closer to 40 now. I don't even know. Over 600 videos. And, let me get that for you, Margot. I will have to ask Vincent what the address is. Or you can use the Poppy and Ari address if you want. If you have that one, you can use that one. Oh, you're going to send me a surprise? I wonder what it is. I love surprises. I think we'll do our live outside too tomorrow. It's going to be so nice here. It's supposed to be like 77. So I may be sweating like a crazy person, but I'll be glistening and getting tan. And I'll show you my new bathing suit. Not like the whole thing, 'cause can't be doing out. But I'll show you what it looks like before I put it on. Yeah. Yeah. Call him Judge, you might say show respect. But he didn't, Glenn Jammin, Brian didn't say it to Judge Marshall. Didn't call her Judge, and I was very disappointed in that. I was raised to call him Your Honor or,
A grand jury process as part of American jurisprudence, and they think, why would we do that? Why would we have secret grand juries? I mean, all grand juries, right? Secret. You do not get to know. Defense doesn't even get to know. They don't get in there. They don't get to cross-examine. Nope. It is a prosecutor's process, and it's their prerogative to either have a grand jury or to have an open preliminary hearing. And all along we thought there'd be a prelim, but then boom, yesterday, turns out there's been this secret grand jury meeting and they got the indictment yesterday on Bryan Kohberger. Think about it this way. When mobsters are being tried and witnesses are terrified for their life because someone else in the family of organized criminals is gonna off them, the secret grand jury is a good thing, right? They can help get that person to trial without, coming forward and having their lives threatened. So it's not a terrible thing. What's terribly sad is that in this case, that the judge actually thought that some of these witnesses would be harassed in person, on social media, and that they'd get harassment, intimidation, and threats. I mean, that's really, really sad in this case, because that guy's not a mobster, but what is going on with the interwebs and people who are threatening these poor witnesses? I want to bring in somebody who knows a lot about this. It's Richard Block. He's a criminal defense attorney practicing in Idaho. So, Richard, there's some discrepancy on whether some people think that he's waived his right to a speedy trial because he said, I'm fine to wait 6 months before a preliminary hearing and then, an indictment. But the law in Idaho says a suspect must be tried within 6 months from arraignment, unless they waive the right to a speedy trial. So presuming he hasn't actually waived speedy trial, he just waived the prelim, that would put his 6-month date at November 22nd, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and right around the anniversary, of the murders. There is not a chance that anybody could go through 51 terabytes of material before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's no way that that's happening. I think that there's both that 6-month rule, but the judge can continue the case for what's called good cause as well. And I'm sure we're going to see quite a bit of that here. I would assume that we're years away from trial in a case like this. Just an average murder case takes more than 6 months to get to trial. A case with 51 terabytes, which is a mind-numbing amount of data, is going to take more than that.
Yeah, Lori Vallow may have underestimated the whole strategy of a speedy trial. Didn't work out so well for her in Idaho. So the defense, would they have been aware of the grand jury meeting? And as a secondary part of that question, are they changing their strategy in this case now, knowing that they did not get this advance ability to cross-examine witnesses and figure out what those witnesses are going to say eventually when he goes to trial?
So they were probably aware of this. You got to remember that this is the local county public defender. They're incredibly well connected in that courthouse. I would be shocked if they hadn't heard rumors of it at the very least. And whether they're going to change their strategy, we don't know, because we don't know what the discovery looks like. We don't know what the evidence looks like. As a defense attorney personally, I like cross-examining witnesses at preliminary hearings. It's a great way to find more information for your investigation. Usually you don't have 51 terabytes. Usually you have a very small amount of information. You're actually looking for more. So it's a great way to develop information there at preliminary hearings. That being said, we'll see if what they're going to do with this. They are going to get all the transcripts. They're going to get all that information from the grand jury, and they'll go from there.
Can I ask you, in this age of, digital media, and these were, kids who were big into digital communication, is this new? I mean, is 51 terabytes sort of like, yeah, that's where we're going, Ashley? Like, we all have to kind of figure out this new world of navigating that much data in discovery? Or is this like bad faith, over-dumping to try and make it hard? I just worry about the Idaho taxpayers who are footing the bill for both the prosecution and the defense.
But this is, we're definitely seeing bigger and bigger amounts of data in even really small cases. I currently have a misdemeanor case where I got 10 gigs of data in it, which is nuts for a misdemeanor. I think this is going to become more and more common. I don't know that it's just a dump to try and bury the defense, because the defense is going to need to ask for more resources. They're going to ask for more time. This is a complex case with lots of digital forensics in it, lots of video from lots of different sources. It doesn't surprise me that there is a tremendous.
Which guarantees that you're going to get repeated invitations back on this program. Richard Block, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We got to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, though, because we've got some more exclusive information about that slumber party massacre in Henrietta, Oklahoma. Like, who all?
I was trying to figure out what I wanted to share with you guys, because that's going to go over the Oklahoma case, and I want to go back over that on our next live. So I want to save some of that, because there's a lot of stuff that's come out over that case, and it's going to blow your freaking minds. So I wanted to wait. I was wondering where Ashley Higgins was, but I figured she was with her sweetie Boo Thang. Can Boo Thang ever hear me when I'm on the live? Because if she can, she's probably like, Ashley, I don't even know why you listen to that girl. Oh my gosh, Glenn Jammin. Okay, you haven't been in the chat in the last couple of days. I feel like me and you are like on the same page. For some reason, for the last like 5 months, it was Kohberger, right? Kohberger did this. No one said, he had someone helping him. I even heard on a channel say, was the sheaf his accomplices or his informants? Like, none of it made sense. So it's like everyone in the last month just switched, like literally like a light switch. And I don't know what it is, but if you ever need a good time, if you're ever looking for some really good content, you want to laugh, have some popcorn, maybe have a beer, glass of wine, come by my live on a Saturday around 9 o'clock. We usually have some people in here that are just like off. We don't know where their mindset comes from, and we want to learn, but then they won't ever produce any receipts. Which, don't even have to produce a receipt. Just tell me where you found the fact out, because it'll be word for word what someone else we know said. Like wait a minute, I heard that in a chat, or you saw someone type it in a chat, and you're like, word for word, That's actually happened with myself. I have said something in this chat, and then I have seen in another chat someone use my words word for word. I don't know if that's a compliment or if that's creepy, but I'll take it as a compliment. They make stuff up. It's so bad, Glenn Jammin. I can't handle life. And when stuff isn't correct like that, it really gets my gears like going. And that's what got me into true crime, was seeing stuff like that. And then here I flew in here like a freaking tornado. She heard you just start laughing. Oh, good. Well, I made her laugh. Then, you want to hear something funny since I'm pretty much done with the live. Vincent got told by a guy today that he was like not fun or something, I guess. Like, Vincent said he was just sitting at his desk doing work, and this guy walks up to him, and this guy is he's a strange character. I hope he's not watching, but he's a strange character. And I guess he walks up to Vincent, and he's like, can't have fun when you're at work or when you're around. And Vincent was like, I said, what did you say? You're not the fucking fun police? Like, I was so mad. And Vincent was like, I just broke it down to him how that is rude and how, that's incorrect. And I was just like, I would have loved to have been a fly on that wall. If you don't know Vincent, that's my boyfriend. That's the man behind the camera. He's not really here, but Where'd Eddie come from? I didn't even see Eddie. There he is. Eddie is sweet. Eddie's the sweetness. I have heard some crazy stuff, though, the last, month. Ooh, that's a good, Phantom Growler, that is a good question. We went over that, too. We went over it, actually, in 2 different lives. How much does a police 3D scanner hold? I should have put data. Because I was trying to get Vincent to give me an example, but he was like, it's really kind of hard to give me an example. This is just the... Doesn't say. It's just saying like the range and how much, like, ooh, they cost $5,000 to $18,000. It says it captures more than 900,000 data points per second that can be created into 3D images of a crime scene or accident scene. That's a really good question, though. Yeah. Well, this guy's he's a different kind of guy. And I love Vincent when he gets like, when he says something to somebody, because he's so quiet. When he says something, it's powerful. It's like, damn. Like everybody in the room will shut up. Like, because Vincent will straight out be like, you're a dick. And like, but he never cusses or something. You know what I mean? It'll be like out of nowhere. And I'm like, go get him, boo. Eddie is always here. Eddie's been doing so good too. You've been doing good in the chat, Eddie. You've been keeping it good, keeping it cool. You can indict a ham sandwich? Well, shit. I was just reading it. I was just reading here. Ooh, 22. Oh, they lost it. Wow. That's exactly what it is, Ashley. It's words that they don't understand, and then it's just like a bomb just went off, and he just walks away. And then he comes home and he... Am I not fun? Don't ask me that question, buddy. He's not that fun. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. My boo thinks fun. No, he's fun. I told him, I said, you tell him your girl at home says you're fun. It's like, where'd that come from? I was just trying to give him some cool comebacks, but I really couldn't, you know. He's like, he handled it. But I told him, I said, isn't it hard to not say something when someone says something to you, like to keep it in? Because, you know, when I first started, it was recently even, like, you know, when I started getting, you know, more numbers and stuff and more subscribers, you know, you'll have people in the comment section and they'll say stuff, and they just will. And you can't let it get to you. You really can't. But every once in a while I will. And for the longest time, Vincent was checking my comments before I even woke up in the morning. He was like filtering them. But I have like keywords that I filter through now, so it's been helping. Yeah, he's been doing good. I haven't really heard him, like, he's talked about like smoking a little, but he hasn't been like, I haven't really heard him talking too much about it. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, he's definitely the polar opposite of me. Definitely. He, and if that pool isn't open tomorrow for our live, I'm gonna be so mad. I wanted to go sit by the pool with y'all while the kids are still in school. Eddie passes the joint, yeah. Put Nancy on the prosecution side. I know. He has been being a good boy. It hasn't gone unnoticed. I know Vincent's out there sleeping because he said he would be. Because I asked him, I said, I said, you know, Banfield don't start till 10, and he was like, oh, I might be asleep. And I was like, that's fine. So we'll text him. Same here, yep. How are you feeling, Cat's Life? Are you doing okay with your grandma and everything? Do you guys have your arrangements and everything? And let us know if you need anything. I've never had a stigma about weed. My dad smoked weed growing up. I mean, I would never admitted this as a kid, but when I was in like high school and stuff, he would always wait until we were out of the house, me and my brother. But I would always forget something at home. So he would go to the back bathroom and he would take like 2 hits off of a joint or like a 1-hitter, literally eat his food, pass out, go to bed. And he was always like an hour early for work in the morning. So my mom's like, I'm not going to take it from him. It's just like 1 or 2 hits at night. But every time I'd go to leave, I'd come back and I would smell it a little bit and I would just like laugh because I was like 19 at the time. So I was doing the same thing. So we couldn't really say anything. But then, you know, I got older and I told my dad when I got older, when I was like 22, right before he passed, I told him that I smoked before and everything. So I'm glad that I was open and he knew that I at least did that. You know, like, you know, can't say I didn't tell him everything. Take her a vape pen. Girl, do it. I know I'm so bad. Oh my God, I'm going to go to jail. Okay. So, no. When I was in the hospital, I was a smoker. When I went into the hospital, I was a smoker. Feels so weird doing that. I smoked menthol. And it was when the cigarettes first started coming out. It was before it looked like this. It was more of a cigarette. And literally, everybody that came to see me at the hospital, if they didn't bring me a vape pen, go out the door, go get one. I didn't care. I was in pain, y'all. So they would go and get me one. But then the person that was like, they would make my bed in the morning, he saw it one day and my mom was sitting there and he literally just like put it in the drawer and he laughed about it. As long as you're not blowing smoke, if she holds it in, it caused her to cough. Get her like a menthol. If she's not like or a tobacco flavor. If she does tobacco, straight tobacco, or if she does menthol, do one of those two. Don't get her like the fruity kind, because I didn't like that. I went in smoking regular cigarettes. I came out smoking menthol like vapes. That's funny. My friend, I gave her my vape after she had her baby, and it was one of those ones that go up to like 200, and I forgot to turn it down. And she was in the bathroom, and I thought she was going to pass out. I was like, I was just trying to help you. It was like the day after she had her baby, so. Yeah, like maybe she's lethargic. Well, I guess that's good. I mean, not like lethargic, but you know what I mean? That she's sleeping. She's not up and like feeling a lot. Like, yeah, I vape. I don't know. I got my mom to quit smoking 4 years, I think, or 3 years before she died. And then I started again. And then when I met Vincent, I quit 7 years ago. So last time I smoked a cigarette was, I think, in 2020, 1 cigarette. Not saying I probably wouldn't have one here if I needed one every now and again. On a Saturday night when the chat gets rowdy. If you guys ever see me light up a cigarette, you know it's major. It would have to be so much major. It would have to be so major. My friend makes really good food, like edibles. I should ask her for some. Yeah. Yeah, they do. She wants to smoke. Oh. My friend brought me in a bag of weed when I was in the hospital. Like, what am I going to do with a bag of weed, girl? She brought me in candies, but I couldn't chew them because my mouth was wired shut. But she brought me in lollipops. And I was like, nah, I can do. But I didn't really need them. So I had to hide them in my closet and it smelled. See, this vaping isn't bad. I don't think it's bad. I feel good that I vape. I don't feel like not good that I vape, but I feel way better than I did when I smoked. And I don't have to like go outside and do it. I mean, technically you're supposed to, but do I? Yeah. No. I'm so bad. Look at me over here. I'll tell you one funny story and one more funny story before I get off here. And you guys are going to think, oh my God, you guys are going to think my mom is a crazy woman. Okay, so the night of my car accident, my mom was an alcoholic growing up, but I don't think that this really had, I think it did, but I think that it was more because I was in a bad car accident. But where I grew up, you didn't go through like a metal detector. Let me know if you have a metal detector at your hospital where you guys go to the hospital. Like when you walk in to go to the emergency room, is there a metal detector, do you know there? Because where I used to go, there was no metal detector. It was just a hospital. You just walked into the emergency room. Well, when you go to Ohio State Hospital, it's a whole new ballpark, you know. They got security standing right there. You know, they got the metal detector and stuff. So my mom, I'm getting helicopter, you know, I'm in a helicopter and I'm getting life flown, and my aunt went to pick my mom up from her apartment to go bring her to see me, like, because I'm just got in a car accident. And there's two cops walking and waiting to check your bag. That's what happened to my mother. So my mom packs in her overnight bag a 6-pack. A frigging 6-pack. Yeah. Cleveland? Oh, really, Lauren? I'm from the Dayton area. Like Dayton, Beaver Creek. I don't like saying Dayton, so I'm not from Dayton, but you know, Cincinnati area. On the other side. I am from Ohio. But yeah, so my mom walks in. She beeps. The guy finds a 6-pack of beer in my mom's purse. And she didn't tell me this, of course, until like a year later. But I'm like, Mom. And I'm laughing so hard. I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. I really did. I really, really did. I really, really did. She's like, well, I thought I would have to be there for a while. Who does that? But that's my mama. That was my mom. And if you would have saw her, you'd have been like, that woman don't drink no beer. But she did. She was a beer drinker. A 6er. Yeah. And then she said she was sitting in there. She was sitting in the waiting room. And she said it was all she could take to not try to figure out a way to get to that trash can to get the beers out. And I'm like, Ma. She's like, you were back at surgery. You're fine. Man. Yeah, my mom. I love her. She was a saint. She really was. I'll have to show you a picture sometime. Ohio people are down to earth. We are. We're good people around here. That's so awesome. Look at all of us Ohio people. TLC Bell isn't in here, but she's like right down the road. She vouched for me today when I was like, I don't live in the ghetto, because like you could hear this girl screaming for her dog earlier. I didn't get a text back, so he's sleeping. That means I'm going to have to go move him. It'll be cute. Buzz balls. Are those the little things that are in like the little clear? Is that what those are? Like, and they're like, they have like a silver tap or something on them? Like, it's like a liquor drink? I don't know. Hi, Joan. The smiley face. Buzz balls. I went to get my nails done the other day, and I was like, Tanya, have a drink. Because one of you guys sent me a super chat one night, and it was like, you're like, this is for a beer. But then I ended up doing a live that night, and I was like, man, I don't want to be like loopy on my live, because I mean, if I have a glass of wine, y'all, that'd be a fun live. I remember those, Mary Beth. It's been a long time since I've seen one, but yeah. They have them in like the liquor store and stuff. I haven't even been in a liquor store in years. How do I remember that? Don't you judge her, Margot. She needed that for that PT and that OT. She needed it. They did say that I was the best dressed in there. And that was because of my friends. My friends made me the best dressed. Whenever I first read that, Margot, I thought it said when I was in the CIA, and I was like, Margot, you are not making a joke right now, because you know, We have people in here all the time that are like in the CIA or the special ops, or they know Bin Laden. We've had it all. Yeah, no, where I live, I love it. There's no, and I say this and I knock on wood because as far as I see, everything is beautiful around here. When I walk outside, I walk my dogs. There's no trash on the ground. There's no like dog feces. It's beautiful houses, nice looking cars. It's just a nice feeling to feel safe like that. You know, and I'm not like in some high end area. I probably am I'm in a good area, but I'm not like in $1 million home or nothing. This is apartment. But I just feel like I'm safe here, so. Inspector Gadget. Da, 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 ooh, ooh. Yeah, I loved Inspector Gadget. I still actually reference Inspector Gadget a lot. I really do. Like go Gadget arm when something doesn't reach. Well, I can't quite reach something, you know? So I'm near Dayton, but I'm like in between Dayton and Columbus. I used to live in Columbus. Not a bad area. We lived in Upper Arlington, which is like a really rich area, but we lived on the border of it. We got super lucky. But they tore those apartments down. And now they're building high rises. What's the matter, Glowbug? Did I miss something? Every time I see your picture, Glowbug, it makes me laugh. Your Annie Ruler, your boyfriend smoked for 50 years or more and he's off now? Damn. That's awesome. I just saw that message. I miss a lot sometimes. And if I'm not looking over here, I miss stuff over here. I just gotta be looking over here. Yeah. Our glowworm isn't feeling good. What's wrong with our glowworm? Her light bulb is going out. Howdy doody to my kids. I tried to show my nieces and nephews a rotary phone once. It didn't work out. I said, call 911. A 19-year-old at the time, actually, I think he was 20. A 13-year-old and like a 9-year-old. Couldn't figure that out. Yes, Ohio, yeah. Everyone avoids each other and stays inside. Oh, Morgan. Yeah, that's what I do like about Ohio. People are friendly. We'll hold the door open and you'll literally be all the way to your car. You know, a football field away, and we're like, oh, we gotta hold the door open for him. It's like the dead of winter. According to my calculation, Penny would say that and still say it now. I think Penny would. Oh, Glowbug. Well, we're here if you want to talk about it. We're going to do a members only tomorrow between like around 2 and 3. We can hang out and talk. All of us. That's really cool, though, that your boyfriend quit. Wow. Man, I wish I could do that. It's a pacifier. It's just something in my hand. You know? That's what it is, so. Well, Glowbug, we can talk about it tomorrow on our members only if you'd like, because we have got a lot to talk about. What else did I write down? Anything? No. Nothing else. That was it. That's all I got for you tonight. Wisconsin people are known to say thank you a lot. I feel like we are known that in Ohio too. I feel like a lot of people in Ohio are really nice. We are a nosy bunch though. Let's see, is there any other people on tonight? Probably not, because it's 11. But I am going to jump off here. I am going to do members tomorrow. And I'm going to do it around like 2 or 3, I think. You still smoke, Arlene? You roll them yourself? My mother and I, when we were going through a time in our life, we rolled our own cigarettes. That was not a very good time. You're probably good at it, but I was not. It was not. Lobotomy and shock therapy. I've been working out for a month and 2 days every day, except for on the weekends, Monday through Friday, every day for a month and 3 days now. I'm sorry. And I've lost like 2 pounds. And I don't eat that much at all. And I'm like, this better be muscle. Better be muscle. But I am going to jump off of here. I'm glad you got your daddy in bed, though, in Cat's life. That's so sweet. That's sweet. I could just picture me trying to get my mom in bed. She'd be like, get off me. I can do it myself. But we'd both be laughing so hard at the same time. So just made me like kind of giggle in my head thinking of that. So thank you for that. Yeah, what is it before we get up here? Yes. I'm going to go out there and see what Vincent's doing. Oh, your sweetheart, Cat's life. And you know what? Your daddy appreciates that shit. You are a godsend. You know, not a lot of kids would do that for their significant, or not significant, it's for their, I was thinking of Vincent, for their parents. I'm hoping Vincent will do that for me when we get of age, if for some reason we don't have kids to help us with that. Because you never know. So that's so sweet. You about made me want to cry. I've been there. I've had them. And bless your little soul. But I love you guys and have a good night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Members Live. Bye, guys.